Look at the format. If you open any page block, look at this. We got a page block. In the page block, we are able to find the buttons here. Save, save a new, cancel. These are the buttons which are displayed in the page block. In the page block, these buttons are displayed. But where are these buttons displayed? These buttons are not displayed in the body of the page block. They are displayed in the header part of the page block. These buttons are not displayed in the body of the page block. They are displayed in the header part of the page block. Now, when you say they are displayed in the header part of the page block, they are displayed in the header part of the page block. So, how to put the buttons on the header part of the page block? That's what we need to understand. Look at this. I have a page block, title, example. I have given page block location equal to page block buttons, location equal to top. Whatever I write in the page block buttons, they'll be displayed on the header and footer. Command button. We got page block buttons, command button, value equal to save, command button, value equal to cancel. I have a body part. Now, preview. What happened here? Page block is displayed. We got a page block. Let the page be saved. So we got a page block in the header and in the footer. In the header and in the footer, we are able to we are able to see the buttons here. So whatever we write in the page block buttons, they will be displayed in the header part and the footer part of the page block. Whatever I write in the page block buttons, they will be displayed in the header part and the footer part of the page block. Now let us go to the next. I was taking page block here. Then again, page block buttons, location equal to top. When I say location equal to top, buttons will be displayed only on the top. Similarly, I have page block buttons, location equal to bottom. We are able to see buttons at the footer. Location equal to top, location equal to bottom. Then we have Go back to this. Direction we are getting right to left. By default it is left to right. We want to make it right to left. RTL. So direction RTL. So page block. Within the page block we have page block buttons. Whatever we write within the page block buttons, that will be displayed on the header part of the page block. Generally, this is the structure. When you go to the page block, this is a header we got. In the header, this is left for title. This is left for and this is in the header part of the page block. It is split into the header part is split into two parts. One segment is for title. The remaining segment is for page block button. When you say LTR, whatever the page block buttons I give, they will be displayed from here. When you say RTL, this part. So we have page block header, got two segments. One segment is for title, another segment is for page block buttons. I hope you are clear. So what are the attributes we have? Direction, location. And if you want to hide it, rendered. Rendered equal to false, the block will be hidden. Okay. So let us see the quick critical points here. See, child component of it is a child component of page block buttons. It is a child component of page block. Whatever we define in the page block buttons should be displayed in the header and footer of page. Whatever we define in the page block buttons, this will be displayed in the header and footer of the page block. Attributes. Location. This will specify the location of the content. Where the content of the block should be displayed. What are the possible values? Top. Next, direction. This will specify the direction of the content. Then default values. Boolean value. It's a Boolean value. When set as true, This is how we have created. So this is the concept of page block buttons. We have a page block, we have a page block buttons. So overall, I want you to generate one quick example which will give you output in this format. All of you generate this example. Employee, new employee. So generate this example.
As a default value for render is true only, right?
Render is 2, yes.
Yes. Satish,
Yes.
yeah, can we change the position of help page?
Come again? No, it is fixed, Amma. If you are using the section header, it is fixed.
Okay, okay. Yesterday I given the setup equals to true, sorry, false. But after it's not shown the sidebar. The setup is not shown in sidebar.
Obviously, when you give setup equal to false, you are saying not to display. It will not display. Setup equal to false means what? Not see. Every attribute will not have default value as true. Rendered at default value is true. Setup default value is false.
Okay.
So what was the first one? Apex section title equal to new employee. Help you the page which you want to open. So we have section header, preview, title, subtitle, help, title, subtitle, help, title, subtitle, help. We created a section header. Then we have form. In the form we are going to take page block, title, employee. In this, I was supposed to create page block, location equal to, then I got value equal to value equal to cancel. Then name. So we have a section, we have a form. In the form we have apex page block, apex page block buttons, then the body of the page block. Am I clear with this? So finally, what is the output we received here? This is the output what we received. This is the output what we received. I hope you are good. People are good with this, right, boss? So we got page, section header, form, page block buttons. Then we have the body of the page block. I hope everybody followed this. Till here, everyone is good, right? Okay. Now let us go to the next one. How to pass the data using the URL. How to pass the data using URL. Generally, if you want to refer to the data, if you want to call any VF page, how do you call? How do you call the page? mp4 salesforce.com/apex/ this is how you call, right? Any VF page if you want to open, salesforce.com/apex/page name. This is how we are going to call. Now here I am giving /apex/ page name question mark salesforce.com/apex/page name question mark param equal to value. salesforce.com/apex/page name question mark param equal to value. salesforce.com/apex/param equal to value. Param equal to value. So here what I'm doing, question mark name equal to Satish. Page name question mark name equal to Satish. If you want to pass multiple parameters, ampersand. You want to pass multiple parameters. This is how we got. So what was that? If you want to pass any parameters in the URL, you are supposed to put question mark. You are supposed to put question mark, param equal to value, name equal to Satish, ampersand, age equal to 33, ampersand, city equal to Hyderabad. If you want to pass any parameter, page name, question mark, page name, question mark, page name, question mark, page name, question mark. Okay, param equal to value, ampersand. This is to separate two parameters. Parameter 1, ampersand, parameter 2, ampersand, parameter 3. I hope you are clear. Now, create a URL which will pass city name and phone number. Create a URL which will pass the parameters city name and phone number. Create a URL which will pass parameters city name and phone number. Create a URL which will pass parameters city name and phone number.
Satish, is the name, age, and city are case sensitive, or we can give any?
You can give anything. Right. Now, how did you pass? City equal to Hyderabad, phone equal to 1234. City equal to Hyderabad, phone equal to 1234. City equal to Hyderabad, phone equal to 1234. This is how we have created. Right, boss. So let us go back to the next one. Okay. Now what we are trying to do? We want to know how do you refer to the S objects. We want to know how do you refer to the S objects in the Visual Force page. If you want to refer to any one of the S object, we have to define standard controller equal to object. If you want to refer to any one of the S object in the VF page, then we have to define that S object as standard controller. If you want to define any one of the S object as standard controller, if you want to use any one of the S object as any one of the S object in the Visual Force page, then we define it as standard controller. I repeat here. If you want to refer to any of the S object, then we define S object as standard controller. S object can be standard object, account, lead, or customer. Next, we can only define one as object. We can only define one as object as standard controller. We can only define one as object as standard controller. We can only define one as object as a standard controller. We can only define one as object as standard controller. We can only define one as object as a standard controller. Then let us see the next. How to refer to the fields of the object. Look at this. If the object is standard, field is also standard, then we are going to refer expression, if object is standard, field is custom, object name dot field name. If object is custom, field is standard, so object name underscore underscore c dot custom, field is also custom. Then we have object name so depends upon the format. We are referring to the S object as a, we are defining S object. If S object is a standard object, field is a standard field, then object name dot field name. If S object is a standard, field is a custom, then object name dot field name underscore underscore c. If object is a custom, field is a standard, object name underscore underscore c dot field name. If object is a custom, field is also a custom, object name underscore underscore c dot field name underscore underscore c. Right? Now, look at this example. Here, we are trying to use standard controller as account. If we define standard controller is equal to account, so we are referring to the properties of S object account. Then how do you define it? Account. It is a standard object. Name. Industry. Account dot. This is how we are giving. Name, industry, rating, active. Name, industry, rating, active. Name, industry, rating, active. Name, industry, rating, active. This is how we are going to pass the data. Name, industry, rating, active. Name, industry, rating, active. Now what was that? Account dot name, account dot industry, account dot rating, account dot active. Right. Have a preview. When you have a preview, no data is coming. Why? In the S object, there are so many records. There are thousands of records. Out of those thousands of records, which record name you want to print? Which record industry you want to print? You told account dot name. In account, there are 1,000 records. Out of that 1,000 records, which record you want to print? Which record industry you want to print? Which record rating you want to print? So you're not indicating this. There is a reason what we are supposed to do. Go to account. Then page name, question mark, ID equal to so. Now, sorry, this is not the example. ID equal to. If you give ID equal to whichever the record ID we are passing, this record is referred by what? This record is referred by what? It's ID. Whichever the record I am referring, that record ID I will collect, I will pass in the URL. So what does it mean? From this record, get the name. From this record, get the industry. From this record, get the rating. From this record, get the active. Are you getting my point? Whichever the record data you want to refer, that record ID should be passed in the URL. Whichever the record data you want to print, that record data we want to print it in the URL. Whichever the record data we want to print, that record ID we have to pass on the URL. So standard controller, question mark, ID equal to ID of the record. Whichever the record ID we are passing, the record data will be printed. Whichever the record data we are using, that record ID we have to pass. I hope you are clear. People are good with this. Whichever the record data I want to refer, that record ID I have to pass in the URL. Then that record account name, that record industry, that record rating, that record active. I hope you are good. So if you want to refer to any data from S object, what we are doing? Define that S object as standard controller, then object dot field name. I hope you are good. Is that was clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? Okay. Now let's print the example. Now go to the contact object, refer to the contact and print the fields. What is the data we have for a contact? Last name, first name, email, phone. Create this example. Create a VF page which will refer to the contact and print the following fields.
Satish, can I ask one question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So ID we need to copy every time, or is there any way to dynamically pass that ID?
No, see, because now it is a static. We are in the beginning, we are doing it. When you go to the programming, then when you go to the programming format, we will generate dynamically.
Right.
Once I start using Apex programming, I'll make it dynamic.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Create the page. Create the VF page which will refer to the contact with the following data. Standard controller equal to contact. Then what I was doing? This is how I have created. If I want to run it, I have to go to the contact object, take one record ID, pass it in the URL. I hope you are good with this. Now, standard controller doesn't mean standard object. Standard controller means object. It can be a standard object or custom object. Standard controller doesn't mean standard object. It can be a custom object or a standard object. Are you getting my point? So let us do one more example. With this time, we'll make use of all the concepts what we have learned. So refer to the customer object. Sorry. The customer object I have the following fields. Refer to the customer object. Refer to the customer object. It has last name, first name, salary. Yes, go ahead, Amma.
Based on the object name only, we can think about the fields, right? Like the customer, it is a custom object, so it's a last name underscore name underscore C, right?
You need to go to the whichever the object you are referring. Go to that object. Go to that object. Let's say. Go to that object. Go to the fields. Check out which fields are there. Then use them. When you go to the object, you find what are the standard fields, what are the custom fields. Then according to that object, what are the standard fields available, what fields you want to use and print it. Right? We are supposed to use field name. I hope you got my point.
Yes, sir.
refer to the customer object and create it. If I want to do that, I need to have a custom object actually. Create boss. Right. Done, boss. Go back to this. You're supposed to create standard controller, customer, then you taken page block title equal to customer, then first name, because it's a custom field we have given salary, so this is how we have created.
Which page block buttons are missing?
Okay. Location equal to top. I guess I gave save and cancel. Value equal to save. Button value equal to cancel. So we gave value equal to save, value equal to cancel. Have a preview. So this is how we give. So you create a record, give the URL. In the URL, give the ID of the record. We'll be getting the corresponding data, right? So what was that? Go to customer object. So whatever the URL we have taken, go to that URL. Question mark, page name question mark, ID equal to ID of the record. We got the corresponding data. I hope you are good with this. Now, when you look at this, we have created a page with a section header, page block buttons, body, and we are referring to the data from one of the S object. Now, I want to create this data in the proper way. Now, what was this? Whatever the page block is there, that I want to divide into number of columns. So, look at this. If you go to edit, in the page block, what will happen? Account information. Under this, we have this section. Address information, we have this. Additional information, this. So, what happened? Block is divided into number of sections. Address information section. Okay, account information section. Additional information section. Like that, the block is divided into number of sections. In the section, every row is divided into number of columns. Row is divided into 2 columns in this case. Row is divided into single column in this case. So, we are breaking the block into number of sections. Let us take this. This is a page block. Now, I was dividing page block into number of sections here. Section 1. Right. Block is divided into number of sections. In every section, what we are doing, divide row into, now this is a row. Each row is divided into how many columns? Now you have to decide that. Row may have 2 columns. Row may have 3 columns. Or row may have 4 columns. Into how many columns you want to divide? You are dividing the row into how many columns? Now first we need to see how we are breaking page block into number of sections. Then in the section, how we are breaking each row into number of columns. I hope you are good with this. So page block section is a child of page block. Within the page block, we have page block section. Within the page block, we have page block section. Right. In every column, only one component will be displayed. In every column, only one component will be displayed. What do you mean by one component? Look at this. Once I open, till I close, it is called one component. What you write in the body is your choice. But once I open, till I close, it is called one component. Now let us take Apex. I opened, I closed. It is one component. I opened, I closed, one component. Once you open, till you close, it's called one component. One component will be displayed in one column. One component will be displayed in one column of the page block section. So let us take this example. I'm giving Apex page block. Page block. We are dividing the page block into page block section. Page block into page block section. Then I'm giving Apex section. Section 2. Let us see. Have a preview. Page block section 1, page block section 2. What we are having here? This is called collapsible. Collapsible equal to false. Collapsible equal to false. So what was the difference? Here we have, here I don't have the collapsible section. So page block section, divide the page block. Page block section will divide the block into a number of section. And in each section, row is divided into how many columns? Columns. Here let us take an example. I gave command button save, command button cancel. Now this is one component, right? Open the component, close the component. Open the component, close the component. Each component is printed in one. So why? Save is coming here, cancel is coming here. Because the row is divided into how many columns? 2 columns. Row is divided into 2 columns. In each column, one component is printed. So row is divided into 2 columns. If I don't mention how many columns, by default it will take 2 columns. Same I am giving here, columns equal to 1. I gave columns equal to 1. When I say columns equal to 1, per row only 1 column. By default it will take 2 columns. No, I don't want to take 2 columns. I want to reduce the number of columns. Then we can say number of columns equal to 1 I told. No, I want to take 4 columns. Columns, let's say columns equal to 3. I am giving told block 2. I told columns equal to 3. What happened? So why this? Once I open the page block till I close it is called one component. Now I told columns equal to 3. Row is divided into 3 columns. In each column, one component is printed. So what are the attributes we have? Title, collapsible, number of columns. Title, collapsible, number of columns. Title, collapsible, number of columns. I hope you are clear. Title, collapsible, number of columns. Title, collapsible, number of columns. Are you clear? It is dividing the row into number of columns. By default, how many columns? 2 columns. Say serial component of in each column one component should be displayed. In each column one component should be displayed. One component means once you open, till you close. Once you open, till you close, it's called one component. If you don't mention the number of columns, by default it will take. What are the attributes you have seen? Title, we already know. Next, collapsible, columns. Title, collapsible, columns. You want to go for re-render? You can rendered. Title, collapsible, columns, rendered. Title, collapsible, columns, rendered. This is how we are creating. Title, collapsible, columns, rendered. Title of the section, collapsible or not, how many columns, rendered or not rendered. I hope you are good with this. People are good?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So within the page block section, I can write a page block, sir? Because
what
I am seeing.
That's what I wrote here, right?
Okay.
Fine. Right, boss? I hope you are good with this. Clear? Clear for everyone? Okay. Now let us do one quick example. Let us do one quick example here. Tomorrow we have a session. Tomorrow we have a class, right? The regular time. Help for the speech. with respect to the concepts what we have seen. Assume that we have a employee class. The employee class, what are the fields we have? Last name. So this is with respect to all the topics what we have covered till now. This is the example. Just build this example. So we are referring to the object called employee. Then we are trying to display this data.
Satish, can I ask one doubt, please?
Go ahead.
So in the picture you said last name and first name, it is one column. If you want to display another like middle name and occupation, something in the right side, it is another column.
This is a different concept again. You're trying to watch 2 or 3 elements into one. This is a different concept again. Okay, which is called output panel. To this level, we'll be learning only one element in one line. Okay, and moreover, we are not seen about input text, input fields, and output field set. So we're just typing the data and giving BR. That's all. Still, we are not taking inputs and outputs. Still, we are not taking inputs and outputs. Still,
As per you've shown the object, right? Like there are 2 columns in the object.
see,
So I want to display
again,
on
I
the right
repeat my
side.
answer. Again, I repeat my answer. We are not done using the input field and output field. Until we do that, we will not get it. Once you're done with the input field and output field, then only we refer. The UI what was given there is creating an input field and output field. Here we are not done at input field concepts are not yet done. Straight away you are printing the data. So here we have to use a BR and get the data to next line. With respect to the concept what you learn, we cannot implement it. We can only do this. Okay. Once you have done the concept of input field, then we can get the structure what you are asking. See boss, you will get this structure only when you go for input field and output field concepts. Still we are not done the concept of input field, output field. We are just at the topic of creation of sections. Once you have done the section, how to create that inputs and outputs, we have to learn it again. Right. With respect to the concept what you have done, we have to build your output. So how can you build this example? Start building it. What is the first Apex page? Standard controller. Why I am writing on a notepad? I want to run that page in the Visual Force. I have to create an employee object first. Right? So form. So what you are supposed to create? First one you are supposed to create page block. Then we are supposed to go with page block. Create a page block buttons. Location equal to Then I was supposed to create apex page block title basic information. Collapsible equal to false. Page block. Then now what I'm giving last name. Now is it a component? It is not a component, it's a message. It's only text I'm printing. Is it a component? It is not a component, right? I'm not using apex colon all this stuff. I'm just printing what? I'm printing what? Text message. It is not a component, I'm printing a text message. It's only a text message. It is only a text message. It's not a component. We have not created any components which will print the data. Still, we have not learned any concept of printing the data using a components. We only seen how to print a text message. We have not seen how to print the data using a components. So I am only giving what? Text message here. So now, does it have any concept of columns now? If you go with a component, then I have per column one component. Row will have two columns, but it is not a component concept. In the page block section, I am directly printing data. Why? Because I have not explained it still. I have not explained the concept of how to display or how to take the values using input components or output components. Right, boss? This is how I created. So page block. In the page block, I have page block buttons, page block section 1, page block section 2. Is that was clear for everyone? I have not used it in the Visual Force because if I want to use this, I need to have an employee object first. Clear, boss? Clear for everyone? Followed everyone? This is the example. I hope everybody followed this. Meet you tomorrow. That's all from my end. See you all in a session.